Welcome back my friends to JSP-8 Servlet beginner to advanced tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to learn how to set up your first servlet in your JSP project. It's a pretty simple. Before starting this video, if you are new on my channel, please do subscribe on my channel and turn on notification to get notification once I upload next video. And if you think this video is helpful, please do a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Okay, let's begin the video. In previous tutorial I explained that what is HTTP and HTTP servlet. If you didn't watch that video, just go back to our playlist and check out this third video, what is HTTP and HTTP servlet, and there I explained everything about HTTP and HTTP servlet. But now I am also going to give you a little description or introduction about HTTP servlet. Java servlets are server-side programs that handle client request and return a customized or a dynamic response for each request. I already told that video that HTTP servlet generate a dynamic form or HTML page for us, and the dynamic response could be based on user input as online shopping search or online transaction, and with data retrieved from the database or other application, or time sensitive data just like news or stock prices. Java servlets typically run on HTTP protocol. HTTP is an symmetrical request response protocol, and the client sends a request message to the server and the server returns a response message. Okay, let's check an illustrator that's here. You can see there is our client machine. This client machine is our browser, and it's sending a request to a web server or HTTP server, and there you have a HTML page or a forms, anything like that, and using that HTML form we are sending a request to the server side program as a servlet. We also can send a request through JSP pages, but Java servlets are quite easy to handle every request, and then we are sending that request through the database through our servlet and getting that information, and we are getting that information from the database and sending the response to the client server, I mean to the client program as like the browser. And here what we need, we get an application is a HTTP application and SSL TCP IP, just a data link is Ethernet, anything. So that's the functionality behind the scenes when we send a request to the server or to the or to an website. Okay, I'm not going to more details about that. Just I'm going to show you a live example. Let's go back to my NetBeans IDE, and there we have an project is a JSP tutorial. Just I'm going to expand the project, and this is our web pages, and this is our source packages. And here we am going to create a package, name it to new package, no problem. And there I am going to create a servlet. So basically when you use a NetBeans ID or Eclipse ID, there is a default option to create a servlet, but I'm not going to use that default option because then you will not understand anything. So I'm going to create a simple Java class and then convert that Java class to a servlet. Okay, let's create a simple Java class and let's name it to test servlet, then click on next and finish. Next I'm clearing unnecessary things. Actually on that video we already told that Java servlet it's extend to HTTP servlet. So let's extend that class to a HTTP servlet. Extends and just HTTP and just space control space, and you can see many option there. Just we need this is Java X servlet dot HTTP. Okay, now this is a servlet, and in this servlet we can access all HTTP servlet attributes, just like doGet method, post method, put method, delete method, and everything. Now let me create a method, implement a method. Let's say doGet method. Just click right do and press, and you can see that control space, and you can see that we get the all option about the HTTP servlet extends. So do delete do get, we need the do get method, and it's automatically override a method for us. Okay, now you can see, just click on here and control, and you can see the HTTP servlet is extend to a generic servlet, and we have the all that method, do get method, head method, post method, put method, delete method, trace method, service method, all things is there. So now just click on save. Now our servlet is almost ready, but we can't access this servlet because we didn't set anything here. This is an empty servlet. Now I am going to set going to do mapping with our project. So let's say if I go there, control C, just change your browser and run this project. And now just give the servlet name test servlet, and we get an error that HTTP status 404, that means not found, and there is no servlet like in this name. So there is two ways we can configure our servlet to our project. This one functionality is the annotation, and another functionality is the web.xml file. So this web.xml file, in previous video I already shown something about that, how to uh, configure a servlet. Maybe you didn't notice that, or else I didn't explain well there, but in this video I'm going to explain everything here. So first method is to using the annotation. So there are many annotation available for the servlet configuration we will use add symbol, and you just write web and then control space, and you can see that we got our annotation, just javax.servlet.annotation. There is many annotation is available, the filter, init parameter, web listener, anything, but we need web servlet right now. So it's a web servlet. So now this is our servlet. We are telling our server that this is a servlet, this is a Java servlet, but this servlet need a name and need a parameter. So for that name we can say string type, name is test servlet, and here we can define our servlet URL. So for that defining our URL, we can use two method. Is one method is value, or another method is url patterns. So using this URL patterns or value method, we can set the servlet directory or servlet path. Silly mistake here, and they name it test. Okay, let's name it test. And we can also set the servlet description. This is test servlet. This is a test. Okay, now it's done. Our servlet has been configured. That so now if we are going to our browser and set this URL, and then we'll access this servlet. So let's go back to our and just change it to test. Okay, now you can see there is no error. That means we are on our servlet page, but we are not getting anything here because we didn't send anything here. Now let's something set here that we can that will show in our browser. So for that we have to access our print writer. This is print writer, and we are going to out, and then it's a response dot get writer, and now we can say out dot println hello test servlet, or we can say just get servlet name. that name we has been set here, test servlet. So you can access that name, just save and just refresh it. So we can say that hello test servlet. So that's one way we can configure our servlet, and another way is our using the web.xml. Okay, now let's go back to our web.xml file and open. And here you can see that in previous video we set one servlet. So for that, what we have to do, we need to define a servlet here. So let's create new servlet. Okay, we already created a servlet, so I think we don't need to create a new. So we are here just going to set the another servlet name. We can say test servlet, and the class package name servlet class, and the servlet class is our package name. So this is a package name, new package dot the class name is test servlet. This is our class name test servlet, and we need the servlet mapping. So then servlet and you will see that suggestion servlet mapping. In servlet mapping we need the servlet name. So what is your servlet name? So this is your servlet name, and we need the URL pattern. So servlet mapping, and then you can see that servlet URL pattern, it's give you the, and here we can say it's a test or anything we can okay, it's a, say it's a test. Let's go back to our servlet and just comment this out, or remove everything here and go back to our browser, and I think see there is no change. We can see that we are getting an error that we are not getting that test servlet. Okay, let's go back to here and go to web.xml, and here what's our problem here, because we need to expand here new servlet. So new servlet, and in new servlet we have to paste it here. Okay, that's save and refresh it. So you can see that we got our hello test servlet, the same message. And in this way we can configure a servlet through web.xml page. So what is the scenario behind this web.xml page? Let's check another picture diagram. Actually here is one diagram. You can see that. So when we are going through the request, we're going through the servlet page, then it send a request to Tomcat HTTP server, and that server is checking our the context path. So this is our context path. So let's go back to our project, and this JSP tutorial is our context path. So in this context path, at first he will go back to the web.xml file, and in web.xml file he will check our servlet information, that's the servlet name hello world servlet or test servlet, and then we will check this class and the URL pattern. So if it will get there, and then you'll go back to that package we already defined there. So this is our package, then it will go back to that package and check out that servlet Java class. So that is the scenario behind a web.xml file to mapping a servlet. Okay, so that's the everything to mapping a servlet. Now check a live example there. So here we are going to check example is check a HTTP session example. How can we get session in this page? Now let's check an example about to generate a HTML page. Just here I'm doing little copy paste. I set a response. So basically this is our response objects, and already we got that our print writer. Okay, here I already write a HTML page. As you can say, text type text.html, then HTML starting tag, body tag, and the hello and everything. We can use the head tag here. So let's save it and go back to our browser and refresh it. So you can say hello servlet. So it's a give us a bold H3 or H3 tag. And now let's check an example about HTTP session, how we can access our session in servlet. So here is an example, just HTTP session, and get the request dot get session, and I'm just importing the package, and this request element is this, and just import java date.util. And just here one thing is that we create a object, session object, and then from the session we are asking that session dot get creation time. Just let me show you that how we can get that session dot. When we type session dot, and it gives us many more suggestion. We can get attribute, set attribute, get attribute, then get attributes name, then creation time, id, last access time, inactive interval, servlet context, invalidate, is new. So remove attribute, set attribute, set max inactive interval. So we can do everything here. So let's check out one example here. So here you can see I that get a creation time and convert that creation time to a date, and that get the session id. So let's see, paste it here, that because we are first of all we are getting session id, then we are get the creation time, get the last access time, then get max in inactive interval, and then get the servlet context. So just to save it and go back to our browser and refresh it. So you can see that here we got everything, but println, so just we need a new line here. Go back it and refresh it. What's the problem? Println, it should start with a new line. Okay, okay, no problem. So you can check out that here we got the session id, and then we get the last interactive time, and you can check out that this one is same, and the max interval, and we can also set something is like get a max interactive time. So we can also session dot set max interactive time. The interval is just like 5000, and this is an integer millisecond. We're getting an error here in comparison convert to integer. So we can say integer t equal to 3000. So just paste that here. What is this? A void not allowed here. Okay, actually we can print the void directly here. So we can set our session interval time. So 3000, and we can get that maximum session. Just refresh it. You can see that is the maximum interval time. So that's all for this video, and thanks for watching. And if you think this video is helpful, so please give a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and please do subscribe on my channel and turn on notification to get notification once I upload next video. So see you in next video. Bye bye.